right, let's talk about something that's on a lot of our minds: money, jobs, and AI. Today, we're putting together a personal financial survival guide specifically for this new era. We're going to walk through a simple, step-by-step plan to help you protect your finances and, yeah, even find ways to grow your wealth as the whole economy shifts around us.
So let's just cut right to it. This is the big question, isn't it? The anxiety that's kind of humming in the background for so many of us. Is AI coming for my job? It's the first thing we really have to tackle. And, well, the answer is a bit more complicated than just a simple yes or no.
And this right here, this is probably the most important idea to really get your head around. It's not about some robot walking in one day and taking over your entire job title. It's way more subtle. It's about AI getting really good at automating the routine, predictable parts of what you do every day. And that's what fundamentally changes the whole game.
Okay, so to figure out where you stand, we need to get practical. We have to understand how this whole task automation thing is already creating a pretty clear divide in the job market, separating the jobs that are at risk from the ones that are, for now, a whole lot safer.
This is the fundamental split. It's pretty straightforward, actually. On one side, you've got work that can be broken down into a series of repeatable steps. That is exactly where AI shines. But on the other side, you've got work that needs, nuanced human judgment, creativity, or someone to physically be there. That's where we humans still have the clear advantage.
And when we talk about high-risk jobs, you can see that pattern. Think about it. Data entry, answering the same customer questions over and over, basic bookkeeping, these are all processes. They're predictable. And that's exactly what these new AI models are getting shockingly good at doing. And if you want a number to make this feel real, here it is. Right now, AI chatbots can handle somewhere between 80 and 90% of the most common customer service questions. Now, when a piece of technology can automate that much of a core task, it's just inevitable that companies are going to need fewer people doing that specific job. But on the flip side, we see a totally different picture. Healthcare, that requires real empathy and a physical touch. Skilled trades, like being an electrician or a mechanic, that takes hands-on problem solving in the real world. And of course, jobs in leadership or creative strategy, or even jobs working with the AI, well, those require a level of critical thinking that AI just can't touch. Now, this whole shift in the job market, it isn't just some abstract idea. It has very real, very powerful financial consequences for all of us. It's creating what some people are starting to call the AI economic divide. And what that really means is that AI isn't affecting everyone in the same way. Not at all. It's actually acting like a massive accelerator, just widening the gap between the people who can use this new technology to their advantage and those whose tasks are slowly being replaced by it. And here you can see the two sides of that divide. If you've got the skills to work with AI or to manage complex human systems, your value in the marketplace is actually going up. But if your day-to-day work is mostly made up of those automatable tasks we talked about, you're probably feeling some serious pressure on your job security and on your paycheck. And you know what? We're already seeing this happen all around us. Those tech layoffs you hear about, they're not just about saving money. A lot of it is about companies restructuring for a world where AI is at the center of everything. And at the same time, you see more and more people turning to the gig economy, not necessarily as a dream job, but as a crucial backup plan, a way to build a financial safety net. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. We've looked at the challenges. Now we get to the most important part, what you can actually do about it. So here it is, a 5-step financial plan designed to help you not just survive, but actually thrive in this new AI era. These are the 5 pillars of your new financial strategy. First, build a cash cushion. Second, invest in yourself. Third, diversify your income. Fourth, own a piece of the AI economy. And finally, and this one is the most important, you gotta shift how you think about your entire career. Let's break each one down. First up, your survival fund. The new gold standard here is 6 months worth of living expenses saved up in cash. Why so much? Well, because these AI-related layoffs can happen fast and they can affect a whole industry at once. And with the cost of living being what it is, that 6-month cushion gives you breathing room to learn new skills and find the right next move without having to panic. All right, step 2 is all about investing in your own future value. And look, this is not about just taking some random online course. It's about setting aside a dedicated fund just for learning high-demand skills. Seriously, think of it like a 401k for your career. You have to contribute to it regularly if you want it to grow and pay off down the road. Look,
The whole era of relying on a single paycheck from one company, it's fading, and it's fading fast. The new name of the game for financial security is diversification. So whether that's freelancing, creating some content, consulting on the side, or even building a portfolio of dividend stocks, the goal is simple. Make sure that one layoff can't wipe out your entire income. Now, this next step, step 4, this one requires a really important mental switch. Instead of just seeing AI as a threat to your job, you can actually participate in its growth. If you can, by investing in the tech companies that are building all this stuff, or even just in broad market ETFs through your retirement accounts, you can turn this technology from a risk into a potential opportunity to build your own wealth. So we've covered all the practical financial steps, but honestly, none of them will really stick without this final and I think most critical piece of the puzzle. This is all about fundamentally changing how you think about what career security even means anymore. This is it. This is the core idea of this entire plan. The old way of thinking, that idea of a stable job for life, is basically a relic of a past economy. Today, real, durable security doesn't come from your employer. It comes from your own ability to adapt. It's not about the job title you have. It's about the skills you can use, learn, and deploy. So ultimately, your financial future, your career stability, those aren't passive things you just get from a company anymore. They're active things that you have to build for yourself, one new skill at a time. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build next?